Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm talking about what closure really is and what it isn't. So you hear it all the time, you just need closure. Get closure and move on. Or close that chapter and let it go. But what if I told you that most people have no idea what closure really means? Because closure isn't about pretending it didn't happen. And it's not about slamming the door and walking away arms crossed like you're fine. True closure doesn't start in your mind. It starts in your body, and that changes everything. So we've been fed a false idea of closure. We think it's one last conversation, a final apology, a perfect goodbye, or worse, pretending like we never cared in the first place. So what do most people do? They try to move on by acting like they're unaffected. They suppress, they distract. They rush into something new, thinking they've outgrown the past just because time has passed. But time doesn't heal what your nervous system is still carrying. Your body doesn't understand acting okay. Your body understands safety. It understands regulation. And until you feel that, your past still lives inside you. Closure isn't just a thought. It's not a motivational quote. It's not a one-liner you tell yourself at 2 a.m. It's a psychological shift. It's when your body is no longer in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn in response to what happened. Your heart doesn't race at the memory. You don't flinch at the name. You don't rehearse arguments in the shower. It's when your body finally says, I'm not in that moment anymore. I'm not stuck there. I'm safe now. It's a completion of the stress cycle, the loop trauma that keeps you trapped in until it finds a way out. That is real closure, and sometimes it has nothing to do with the other person. Now let's get one thing straight. Trauma isn't just for the dramatic, painful stories. Yes, we often seek closure after betrayal, abandonment, heartbreak, or abuse, but closure is also needed when things end softly, things that just faded away, friendships that slipped through the cracks, opportunities that passed us by. Sometimes the chapter didn't slam shut, it just drifted. And your nervous system doesn't know what to make of that, because even peaceful endings can leave open loops in the body. Your mind might understand, but your body still whispers, wait, what happened? Here's the thing, some closures happen naturally. You change, the other person changes, the season shifts, it just feels right. There's nothing left unsaid, you breathe a sigh of relief and move on. But not all stories end that cleanly, especially the ones that hurt. The ones that confused you, the ones where your heart didn't get to speak. In those cases, closure has to be created, and often it has to come from you. Not from the other person's apology, not from their explanation, and not from some grand final scene. Sometimes they can't give you that. Sometimes they won't give you that. And that's when you learn that your peace is your responsibility, even if they left chaos behind. So how do you know when you've found real closure? It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's not fireworks. It's subtle but powerful. You don't need to win the story anymore. You don't need revenge. You stop wondering if they're thinking about you. You stop needing their validation. You can name the truth without sugarcoating it or exaggerating it. You release the fantasy version of the relationship. And most importantly, you release the version of you who was stuck in that chapter. Closure is when the memory stops being a home and becomes a museum. You can visit it, but you don't live there anymore. So if closure doesn't come from them, then how do you create it for yourself? So I'm going to give you 5 real ways to self-create closure. The first one is to feel it fully and stop trying to be over it. You can't heal what you refuse to feel, so give yourself permission to grieve, rage, cry, or write, with no shame and no timeline, because unfelt emotions will always find a way to haunt you. So just let them pass through you instead. 2, write the real story, not the fantasy version. So stop replaying the version where it all should have worked out. That version is grief's illusion. Write what actually happened, who they really were, how it actually felt. This isn't bitterness, This is truth. Truth is a ground you walk out of pain on. 3, acknowledge what it cost you and what it taught you. Every ending takes something from us, but it also gives us something. Maybe it taught you boundaries. Maybe it showed you your blind spots. Maybe it woke you up to the patterns you've been repeating your whole life. Closure is about integrating the lesson so you don't keep reliving the pain. Release the identity you built inside the pain. Sometimes the hardest part isn't letting go of them, it's letting go of the version of you that loved them. The version of you that tolerated, people-pleased, and bent until you broke. That version was surviving, but now it's time to evolve. Closure is when you choose to become something new, not something bitter, but someone rebuilt. 5, create rituals that mark the end. Write a letter and burn it. Box up the memories. Make a playlist that closes the era. Get therapy. Celebrate yourself. Closure isn't just a feeling, it's a ritual of release. So let me leave you with this. Closure isn't forgetting. It's remembering without reliving. It's honoring the story while stepping out of the page, because healing isn't pretending it didn't matter or didn't happen. It's acknowledging that it did and giving yourself permission to move forward anyway. So if you're still waiting for closure from someone else, ask yourself this: what am I waiting to hear? What truth do I already know but haven't let myself accept? What peace is possible if I stop needing their version of the story? Closure is yours to claim, no permission required. The moment you stop needing closure from them is the moment your healing becomes yours again. I hope this is helpful, guys, and I will speak with you on the next one.